that I say often when I speak, and I live by. Life is rhythm, and rhythm is patterns, a blend of upbeats and downbeats, delicately interwoven with sound and silence. And in whatever we do in life, whatever our journey is, whatever our industry we choose, whatever industry we choose, everything is rhythm. Success is rhythm. Failure, as people want to identify, is a rhythm. It's what time you wake up in the morning. It's whether you're eating or not. It's whether you're resting or not. It's how infrequent you're resting or not. It's the people around you, the conversations that you're having, and the frequency. In drums, it's a rhythm. After a period of time, it can become a tone. After a period of speed or a rate of speed, it becomes light or smoke or fire or infrared or, then we get into ultraviolet and x-rays, and all of that is frequency. Once we get into medicine, it's just a matter of how quickly it's moving. But life is rhythm, and everything we do is based on our rhythm. Our heartbeat is what shapes. It's the rhythm of our our body. It shapes our body, So it's in everything we do, and I say upbeats and downbeats because in some of the greatest moments, graduating as valedictorian, doing the Super Bowl with Prince in 2007, for all the upbeats, life sometimes brings downbeats. So a month before graduation, there's a downbeat of losing my mom. A week before Super Bowl with Prince, my grandmother passed away. So 2 days before Super Bowl, I wasn't in Florida. I was at my grandmother's funeral in Houston, and then flew back and did the Super Bowl. So with everything, it's a blend of sound and silence, because you don't want to stay in the upbeat so long that it becomes noise. Like too much sound is noise. But if you stay inundated in the silence, then you lose life. So it's a balance of not getting lost in one or the other, but it being delicately interwoven, and that is life. It is the balance of those things, and sometimes in life we try to figure how people can keep going in the worst of times, but it is that you have to keep going because there are better times to come.
And what's amazing is Cora knows this because I reached out to her one time because the first time I heard her say this was in 2011, and it resonated with me because after she was my speaker, I lost my election to move forward in Tau Beta Sigma. And, everything happens for a reason. And like she was talking about those silences and like knowing when it's time to stop and move on to something else is a part of what that was for me. I had that huge downbeat, but on the upside, I went and served my community. I was a National Service Corps in Georgia and had to take care of my kids alone for 2 years, So everything kind of goes into, it is that rhythm. And I was thinking about this saying last night, and she already talked about the heart. And a big part of what I do when we talk about the heart is that rhythm. Like listening to the heart is the main thing that I do. And it's all about what happens between the beats. The pathology, how you figure out what's wrong with a patient happens between the beats. So it's not just about like she said, not just about the noise. It's also about the silences. And we talk about, I think the thing on Facebook right now is the question of what's more important, the note or the rest. and being able to get the rest right is just as important as playing the note right. Yeah. So, I think in my life in general, I've had to really be intentional and also to understand that everything's not for me. Everything's not meant to happen when I think it's going to happen. And at every point when it's been a point where I feel like I've lost something, I've gained something on the other side. I went out for an organization, didn't get accepted. And on the next side, I got a contract to work with the homeless in my population here in Montgomery County. And those ups and downs just make you thankful, make you just want to keep going because if something that you weren't planning on happening happens, whether it's good or bad, there's something else on the other side, and you can't get to the next upbeat without a downbeat. So I live by part of that, and it's because I heard Cora say it 10 years ago, and have told her that that made a difference in how I see the world and how I take and teach others. because I also think that sometimes you won't move unless you're pushed. And, sometimes we'll stay in toxic relationships and stay in that silence or those downbeats for too long.
Yeah.
And specifically for me, when I started my practice, I had a lot of doubts. Like, I was working for somebody, I wasn't happy there, but I didn't want to start a practice. I was like, can I afford to start a practice? I had small children, had just bought a house, all of these things, but it was my time, and now I get to have something that feels the way I want it to feel, no matter if it's the struggles that come along with it or whatever. But I wouldn't have moved unless I was pushed, and that push for me has come at multiple different spaces, and it's always in the long run turned out to be successful and be positive. And I owe a lot of that to Howard and to the friends I have, and again the things that are intangible, the relationships, the people that are going to be there, like, you can do this, the knowing people that work in different industries and be like, I need you to help me work on this, I need some, how do I get into this different thing, how would I write this, can you look at my resume, kind of helping people to having people to foster my shortcomings, and also hopefully being there for them at those times with the things that I'm good at, and using my time, my talents, and my treasures in positive ways for both the university and for other things.